Bell rolls is the reporter thrown into the secretive world of the Forex Super Model, where nothing is as it seems. Beware the techno monk, and steer clear of Professor Code and his two assistants. Give the senior trader a wide berth, and don't expect any sense from the risk manager.
Right, good morning, I'm Professor Code. This is the Forex Super Model daily briefing for Monday the 15th of November 2021. Time is just gone 4:15 in the morning GMT. Asian session coming to close, European session firing up, our lunchtime North American session. Right, Friday the 12th then, the last full trading day, we had a positive opposed driver in the pound at plus 111. Front and back door flows, mainly coming out the euro at minus 71, out the dollar at minus 54, and the yen was the positive rock at plus 14. Activity plus or minus 125. Over the week then, just for context then, last week we had a negative opposed driver in the euro at minus 231. Front and back door flows, mainly coming into the dollar at plus 224. Into the yen at plus 26, and the pound was the negative rock at minus 19. Activity plus or minus 250. So right then, so you can see from Friday's flows that we had this pound strength starting to appear, and the pound was the negative rock over the week, and then you've got you had dollar strength over the week, and the dollar's starting to weaken on Friday. And if you look at the intraday then, which is the Asian session to about 15 minutes ago, we got a negative unopposed driver in the dollar at minus 22, a neutral rock in the yen at 0, and positive flows into the pound plus 12 and the euro plus 10. Activity plus or minus 22. We'll stop that there and write up the flows. Right, we've written up the flows then. So the euro is strong except against the CAD, the AUD and the Swiss. The yen is weak except against the dollar and the NZD. The pound is strong except against the euro, the AUD and the Swiss. The Swiss is strong across the board. The CAD is strong except against the Swiss and the pound and the AUD. The AUD is strong except against the Swiss. New Zealand is weak except against the dollar, and the dollar is weak across the board. So what have we got? We've got dollar weakness across the board in the Asian session and Swiss strength. Right, and we've got secondary weakness in the New Zealand dollar, except for the dollar itself, and we've got where is it? Secondary strength in the AUD. So positive, negative, negative, negative. Right. So let's have a look what's been knocking it about, or will knock it about. So we've had soft JPY GDP come in. We've had a bit of positive China retail sales, and then we've got very light data today. On Tuesday the 16th, we've got AUD minutes and speech from the governor. Low, and we've got GBP claimant count and unemployment rate. We've got Euro GDP and US retail sales. And Wednesday the 17th we've got GBP CPI and Bank of Canada CPI. So Wednesday we've got inflation data basically. Tuesday we've got GDP data in Europe and the pound, and US retail sales, and we've had a bit of positive on the China retail sales, and a little bit soft yen GDP. Right, we'll stop that there and write up the asset classes, so don't go away. Right, we've written up the asset classes then. So US dollar index basically had a break. It's come back a little bit, so it's 0.11 from the high. It's come off about 11% from the high, so the dollar's slightly weakened from a very high level, relatively high. Gold then, normally it wouldn't like a strong dollar, excuse me, but it's looking like a bit more of an inflationary hedge on gold, and it's 0.21 from the high, so gold's staying about 21% from the high. Oil did its big break, it's now 0.26 from the high, so it's come off about a quarter, 25-26%. Wall Street, S&P Tech, they've all got the same look. They did a big break, they've come back a little bit, and they're just sub highs, 0.125 from the high on Wall Street, which is an eighth. S&P 10% and Tech 10% off the highs. US 10-year in the bun, this is the price, remember. We had this bounce, pump down in price, rising yields, then we had this bounce in price, and the US 10-year is 0.23 from the floor, so it's way below half marks. So yields are relatively strong in the US, and the bund is the opposite really. It's 0.33 from the high, so the prices bounce way above half marks, so yields are relatively weaker in Europe. Where are we? Copper's at half marks after chopping about all over the place, and US steel is above half marks, 0.40 from the high, 40% below the high. Right, let's just do the final analysis then. Let's get rid of this then. So remember, today we've basically got quite the usual light day today on Monday, and the Asian flows are sort of quite revealing. So let's have a look anyway. So we've got dollar, euro, yen, pound, CAD, AUD, NZD, and we've got the Swiss. So let's just grab this then. Right, so last week then we had euro weakness driving in an opposed manner, and it was driving mainly into the dollar. So you had this dollar strength. It started to come off a little bit on the Friday. We had a little bit of dollar weakness, and the pound started to come up considerably on Friday. So the pound sort of started to do that, and then in the Asian session, which is like I say, the Asian session today, we've got a weak pound, which sort of ties in with this driving. We've got a neutral yen, so that's a neutral yen, and we've got strength in the euro and the pound. So we've got a neutral and we've got a positive in the pound. So, and if you look at the actual main flows on all the complexes, on the 8 complexes, you've got a strongish CAD, strongest is AUD, and a weak NZD, which is out of kilter on the commodity currencies. So you've got strength and you've got negativity there, and then you've got the Swiss, which is strong at the moment. Right. So what's likely to happen? Well, let's just box it in a bit. If you look at our weekly briefing, we suggest that the dollar's pretty much the dollar's likely to be neutral to negative now. It's pretty cooked. The yen is likely to be neutral to negative off the back of equity flows transmissions. So that leaves you with the euro and the pound. The pound had that sell-off. It had that big sell-off the week before, which was it lost about 600 and odd points on the complexes. So the pound is likely to be the big gainer, and the euro is likely to be sort of get secondary bounce, so neutral to secondary there. So and that's really what we think is going to happen today, and maybe early into the week. Then the driver, you're going to get a positive driver in the pound. So you want to be looking to go long the pound against something, and we wouldn't suggest against the euro. So you want to be looking at either cable pound dollar or pound yen. So pound dollar, pound yen are of particular interest, and I would suggest favourite will be pound dollar, simply because of the way it's set up. So if we're going to be looking at trading this morning, if we're looking at it on a short-term basis, then the pound dollar long would seem the way to go, and have a look at pound yen long as well. So, and the Swiss is strong, probably off the back of is getting lined up, sort of front running some euro strength. So you want to expect some secondary euro strength, depending on how it goes. So because these flows have only got 2 places to go really, they're either going to go into the pound or the euro. The pound's the obvious one because it's bounced and it's sold off, and the Asian flow suggests it's the pound, but the euro could well surprise us and pump up as well. So and if the euro starts charging up, euro dollar will be of interest on the up long. So anyway, there you go. Hope that was useful. See you tomorrow for the daily briefing. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.